Right, hi guys. So we're gonna wait a few more minutes and then we're gonna go live and talk about buckle carriers and choosing your buckle carrier because it's quite hard. So I'll be here and talking to you about your different options. This is Pippin. Pippin, say hi. Hi everybody. It's so gorgeous. Look in the camera. It's my little assistant. And then oops, we have Pablo here as well, so we have both of them joining us. Oh, right. Are you coming, Pippin? Coming to do the live with us? Oh, you're so gorgeous. Right, so we wait for a few more people and then we'll just get started so don't have to repeat. Huh? What do you see? What do you see? Do you see lots of buckle carriers? Yes. What do you see, Pippin? What do you see? Okay, so I think we can get started. So today we're going to talk about choosing your buckle carrier. Right, so where do I start? It's quite overwhelming choosing a buckle carrier because there are so many types. So I don't know if you can see, I've made a little arrangement here of a few of them. It's just a small selection. Yeah, you can probably see like this. So I think the most important thing to remember when choosing a buckle carrier is to remember that not one size fits all. So that's why there are so many different types. There are so many different options and so you can't really know until you've tried it on. So my advice is to go to a sling library. Go to a sling library, try a few on, get expert advice because usually we can tell from your body shape and what you're trying to achieve what would be the best option for you. So it's very, very important to try someone. You might find that you might want to go to a baby shop if you don't have a sling library near you, and that's fine. Just be aware that baby shops are not trained to fit slings. They don't understand how they work, and the main job is to just sell you the most expensive one, okay? So the other thing is remember that the most expensive carrier is not always the best carrier. So you don't have to fork out to get a decent carrier. What will work for you may not work for your friend as well. So your friends might want to buy your carrier, they might want to give you something that they had, but it doesn't mean that it will be the best fit and the most comfortable for you, and it won't always do what you want it to do. So it's really worth trying, really. I mean, there's no other way around. You can take a gamble and then order one, and then if you don't like it, send it back, but that might just last for quite a long time. So just go to your sling library or contact us and we'll be able to guide you even online if you can't go to a sling library. Alright, so when you choose a buckle carrier, try to go for one that is wide base, which means that will cover your baby from knee plate to knee plate and will enable your baby to sit in the M-shaped positioning. So your baby will be supported from knee to knee like this. Just gonna be okay, yeah, like that. So supported like that with the bum lower than the knees. And that's very important. It promotes healthy hip development because the hip socket and the hip joints sit together when you bring the leg up like this. Also means that it helps your baby support the rest of their body, the back, the neck and the head. And it's a lot more comfortable for them to be supported that way. Having said that, if you have or have been given a narrow base carrier like some of the old style baby bjorn, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to damage your baby, it's fine. What you might want to do is do various tricks so that you can bring the legs up. So there are videos on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel, you can see how I do that. So you can support still knee to knee. Because what will happen, narrow base carrier like that at the beginning, they will support your baby knee to knee, but as your baby gets bigger, the base will be mostly around the buttocks. So the legs will be quite straight after a while. So you can use a scarf and then bring the legs up like that. But check out my video for that because I don't have time to show that today. You can't damage your baby if you have a narrow base carrier, it's fine. If however your baby has a pre-existing hip condition, like hip dysplasia, it is worth really steering clear from that because that can just make the condition a bit worse. Okay. Alright, so in terms of what to choose, there's lots of different options. So they vary enormously. You can go for one that is non-adaptable, which means that you will need to use an insert like that at the beginning to sit your baby on, because the base will be too wide. So you can just sit your baby on the base like that, because if you have a carrier and you can't make it narrow, your baby will end up sitting in a split like that, which is just not comfortable, as you can imagine. So show you an example of non-adaptable carriers. We have here a Tula standard. So with this one, the base is quite wide, as you can see, so I can't make it narrow. And to be able to fit the width of my baby's legs, I would need to put the insert in it like that to make it smaller. Okay, so that's one thing. Advantages of having non-adaptable carriers is that sometimes the base is quite wide, so they can last you for a while into toddlerhood, but that varies enormously. The Ergo 360 or position, not the Omni, is also non-adaptable. So you've probably seen this one, lots of people have this one. Again, the base is quite wide, so we would need the insert to make it narrow. As your baby grows, you can remove part of the insert, the wider part, and then you can use just a little cushion for a while. This one, so that your baby still sits in the M-shaped positioning without spreading legs, and but you don't need the whole thing. One disadvantage of having to use an insert in the winter, it does get quite warm, so because it makes everything quite bulky. So you've got the thickness of the panel, and then you've got this thickness as well, so it can be quite hot. However, you can get mesh ones, so that might be a good idea if you want a carrier like this, and then you're going into summer. What is quite nice is going for an adaptable one, so you'll grow with your baby. So the Ergo Omni, for instance, and the Ergo Adapt, I'm going to show you in a second. So these, you can see in the base, you've got these Velcro tabs. So as your baby grows, you make it wider and wider, and then you will just follow your baby's size. So it fits your baby better than going from insert to no insert. You can go for the Ergo Adapt, which is also adaptable. It does what it says on the tin, it's adaptable. The other thing with the Adapt is that you can cinch the front here, so the seat isn't as deep as with the Omni, so it fits small babies a little bit better than the Omni. Other ones, you have the Tula Free to Grow or the Tula Explore, and these ones, they have little buttons inside, so you've got little poppers, and then you just make it wider as your baby grows. So that goes for the Tula Explore, and then the Tula Free to Grow, which is this one, and also the Tula Half Buckle, but it's a different tutorial, this one. I won't get into half buckles because that will make life complicated. There's loads and loads of them that are adaptable. Some are so adaptable that they'll fit from newborn to toddlers, and some even beyond that into preschool. So for example, we've got the Boba X, and this one is micro adjustable, so you don't have just settings, you just make it grow at the same pace as your baby. So I'll show you what it looks like inside. So I really like the Boba X, it's quite a long lasting carrier. So you start very small like this, and then as your baby grow, you start small like this, and then as your baby grow, you just very gently make it wider and wider. When you reach maximum, you add these extenders, so they come separately, you can take them off, and that will make the base super wide, so that will fit easily a 3-year-old, depending again on the size of your baby. I can't tell you how fast your baby is going to grow and how long the carrier will last. This is impossible for me to tell. You just have to see how it goes. Unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly how long something will last. Super long lasting one is the Izara The One. So it's called The One because it's the one you will need throughout babyhood and toddlerhood and even preschool. So again, it's micro adjustable, so you've got this velcro tab, so you make it grow wider and wider, and then you add extenders, they come separately, and then of course with all of the expandable one, the top panel grows, so it grows in height with your baby. This one I have fitted a newborn and I have fitted my 5-year-old in it. 5-year-old is quite small, but it lasts a good 4 to 5 years, so that is a really good buy. If you really don't want to move to taller carrier, or you want to just stick with one carrier that will take you throughout, that will take you through several kids as well, it might be worth going for something that's very expandable, like a Boba X, an Izara one. Some brands like Chula also do expanders, so you can add expanders once you reach maximum weight. Okay, so that's one aspect. The other aspect when you buy a carrier is you want to be able to cross the straps, or are you not bothered? If you can cross the straps, you can try different ways to put it on, and I can give you different type of support. Also, depending on your body shape, sometimes having rucksack style straps doesn't work for everybody, so being able to cross them can work. So I'm going to demo with the Omni to show you what I mean. So I'm going to just flip everything and give you an idea of what it looks like. And sometimes it's quite nice to have the option, because you might find actually it's not comfortable, and then we just cross the strap, and that makes a hell of a difference because the support becomes very, very different. So I'm going to show you putting it on with the strap straight. So this is called rucksack style straps, very hard for me to say, or H straps, because it looks like an H, okay, or straight, whatever, doesn't matter. So we're going to put it on my waist belt, bring this through the elastic band for the Omni for extra safety. Your waist belt should be on your waist and not on your hips, okay? So the clue is in the name, it should always be in your waist, especially if you have a very small baby, a newborn. You'll find that you might have to have it quite high up. Depending on your body type again, you might have to do different adjustments, okay? So this is why it's very important to try before you buy, because then some may not work for you. Right, so lots of different ways to put it on. I'm just going to show you the way where you don't have to clip the chest strap. Just put a chest strap. It will hold the straps onto your shoulders and stop your baby from falling out. So some people find it really stressful having to clip it on your back. You don't have to clip it ever. Leave it on, bring it over. Make sure you leave enough room. Now I'm going to bring baby in. Bring baby on your shoulder, support. And you're going to bring your hand under, grab the legs, and then let your baby drop down quite deep into the seat for majority of carriers. So sometimes you can just let the bum drop a little bit over the waist belt, and you find that really helps. You can bring your waist belt even higher up, especially if your baby's small. This trick might work quite well. And I'm going to support baby, arms towards the face, especially for small babies. And then I'm going to bring my slide forward, and I'm going to pull back. Like this. Yeah, straps on the front, go for a second. Okay, so this is nice and comfortable, but if you're quite petite, you might find if your frame doesn't work with the Omni, because it's quite padded, it's quite big to be honest, you might want to cross the straps. So we can do that. I'm going to loosen. I'm going to take my baby out, and then I'm going to pre-cross my straps so I don't have to do any clipping around my baby. So you just undo everything like this, and then you can just bring your straps, pre-clip them, or you can clip around your baby. I'll demo that with another carrier. So you can see different types of carriers and how you can put them on. Okay, through the elastic band for safety, bring it over, grab your straps together like this, and then you're going to bring your hand through over. Make sure you've got enough room for your baby, so you can loosen. So to loosen, you can lift, or you can just do that and it just comes, and that works for the majority of them. And then I'm going to bring my baby in, hand under, guide the leg through, let the bum drop nice and low, and shape positioning, and I'm going to lift and bring the slack to the buckle like this. That stops the webbing going into your breast tissue, and if you're breastfeeding you might find that's quite nice. Okay, so now I've got the straps crossed on my back, and that gives me a very different feeling. So I feel like I'm carrying with more of my back than with the rucksack style straps. So worth trying, see what works for you. Just take your time, experiment and see what works. So in terms of safety, I want my baby to be close enough to kiss the top of the head so I can see airways at all times. Nose and mouth must be always clear, so not like this, okay? So that's why it's very important to fit your carrier properly. So if I bring my waist belt higher up, automatically I can see my baby better. That's better. Okay, small babies, I say hands towards the face because that's their stimulation, they like it. Bum lower than the knees. Make sure everything is tight and you carry your baby upright, okay? You don't need to bring the headrest out or over. It's just going to support right under here, right under the earlobe, and that's fine. Okay, other advantage of having a carrier where you can cross the straps is you can do a hip carry. And you can't do a hip carry if you can't cross straps. So we'll show you how to do hip carry. You can loosen your waist belt a little bit if you want. Bring your baby to the side, support baby, bring your arm through, and you're going to just bring the slack forward like this. And tighten. Advantage, I'm going to turn my baby's head. So he's got a new baby and his head is not turning quite well. I'm sorry, I don't do that to little babies, okay? So alright, so advantages of having a hip carry is that I give my baby a lot more visibility. If I'm bottle feeding or breastfeeding in a sling, I can just loosen everything and just bring baby on the breast and feed, or loosen and then feed with the bottle. Lots of different ways to do it. Do get in touch if you want to learn how to do it, because there's different options, different variation, and depending on what your baby's like, the latch and everything, it's really worth having a chat with a professional about this. But also, yeah, that gives me visibility. Because if I don't want to face my baby out, so carry my baby facing the world, or my baby's too small to be facing out because we want to wait until your baby's got full head control, then this is an alternative. It's nice, your baby can fall asleep, it's fine, you can interact with your baby and you can see your baby the whole time. Compared to facing out, we can't let baby falling asleep, is not recommended because the head goes down like that, and then there's a risk of suffocation. And also I can monitor my baby a lot more easily when my baby's on my hip. Okay, so, and then you can just come back, loosen, and then you just bring your hands through the straps. With the majority of carriers, you can back carry as well. Do check that you can do it and the option is available, because you can't always do that with all of them, but with the majority of them you can. So it's worth having a think about it. If you have a carrier that will only last you a few months, usually they'll be quite cheap, but you might find that it's not economically the most long-lasting option. So it's worth having a little think about what you want to do. If you're not fast and you want to try lots of things, then go for it. Or you can hire from your local sling library, because we have lots of carriers and you can try different things. Okay, now the next thing you want to think about when you will buy a carrier, do you want to be able to carry your baby facing the world when they're older and they've got head control, good head control? If so, yes, you need a carrier that will offer you this. So Ergo Omni or the 360 offers the facing out option, because you have these buttons here. Let me show you what I mean. You need to make the base a bit more narrow between the hips so your baby doesn't sit facing out with the legs in a split, okay? So you need to be able to make some adjustments. So you can do that with some of the ergos. You can't do it with the original, and you can't do it with the adapt. So something to bear in mind. Tula Explore also has got the same button system, mainly because it's the same brand, so they use the same system. What else? The Beko Gemini. Yes. The Beko Gemini, firm favorite here at Rapper Hoxing Library. Everybody loves it, and I love it. It's a great carrier. So again, you got two options. So small babies will sit like this. Bigger babies, you put it on the wider setting, and when you want to face out, you just narrow the base by doing that. The Beko 8 is very similar to the Gemini. It's a bit wider and a bit taller, and it's got an included mesh panel. So was comparing them if you want to have something a bit more snazzy than this. But it's a very nice, quite lightweight carrier, very simple, and really does the trick. People like it because it's got wide straps and you cross straps. It's a bit nicer having them crossed. Over the ergo that has quite thick shoulder pads. Not everybody likes this, so it's worth having a try. Just try. We're here for that, and we love it. We have tons of slings for you to try. So come and spend time with us. Okay. The other thing to consider is how bulky a carrier do you want. So I have a lot of people who say, I want something that's very supportive. So the word supportive is extremely subjective in the sense that not everybody feels support the same way. Okay, so usually people, when they say that, they want something supportive, then they want a big waist belt, they want a lot of padding on the shoulders. So we try things, and then they don't like the bulk of it. And then we try very lightweight slings, and actually they feel that the support is the same. So waist belts vary a lot. So you can get some with low back support, lumbar support, just like the new Omnis and the Adapts and the 360s, so all the ergos. Some don't come with support, like the Tulas, but you can buy lumbar support if you want extra support. That's absolutely fine. The Beko Gemini doesn't have one, but the Beko 8 does. You can also buy it extra. But sometimes if you're quite small around the waist, you might not actually need it, because this will just go around your waist. So some people are very concerned about this, so they want something like really quite padded and thick, and that's totally fine if that's what you want and what you prefer. You are in your body, I'm not, so I can't make the choice for you. You need to try and see how it works. And some prefer something very more like a lot more lightweight. So I'll show you some example of lightweight carriers. So this one is not a Beko carrier, it's a Velcro carrier. It's called the Masterpiece. It's quite nifty, it's quite nice, and not many people know about it. But so everything's made of Velcro. So I'm just going to show you how to put it on. You just bring your waist back around, and then you basically Velcro yourself into all of that, like this. And then you bring baby in, and I've done it the wrong way around, didn't I? Yeah. I was stepping up last night, sorry. Yes, like this. Okay, and then you bring your baby in, and then you're going to cross straps. Like that. And I'm doing a very quick demo. This is not a tutorial, alright? If you want a tutorial, there are some on my YouTube channel. So you're going to cross, and then you're just going to Velcro yourself and the baby in. Like that. There you go. This is very comfortable. It doesn't look like it because there's not a massive waist belt, but you don't need a massive waist belt to give you support. It's really nice. You've got cross straps. Some people really like cross straps, and it's very easy to put on. It's very quick to take your baby out like this. It's got a headrest as well. It's a really lovely carrier, very, very lightweight. So do try. Pretty cheap as well. And for some people who don't like the idea of clipping or holding the baby in clip, then the Velcro sometimes works really quite well. Firm favorite is the sling. So another lightweight carrier, so a lot less bulky, much smaller waist belt compared to the ergos. But this is made from a stretchy wrap, so it gives you a bit of a feel of the stretchy. Show you how the waist belt works. So you've got totally adjustable panel. The front panel is completely adjustable, which means that it will grow with your baby. And the waist belt is again micro adjustments, so you don't have like 2 or 3. You just make it as small as you need when baby's small, and then as your baby grows, you just make it wider and wider, and it expands. And that still fits my 2.5-year-old, so really worth trying. You can spread the shoulders, which is nice. You can distribute the weight a bit more, and some people prefer that over something that's very thick on the front, very bulky, very thick fabric. This is a bit more lightweight, feels a bit more like a wrap. Similar to that is the Ease Me, another favorite here. So again, very, very lightweight. You can spread the weight on the shoulder. A very thin waist belt. Some people just don't like this, they just like something that's very bulky. But once you've tried it on, you might change your mind. You have a cushion insert for very small babies, but most babies don't even need it. And you've got choose to set up, so small baby, big baby, and you can face out with this one as well, which is quite cool. And then there's the Ergo Embrace, which is kind of like in between. So this one you can't back carry with, so this is one of the carriers you can't back carry with. This is more like for the 0 to 6 month stage. After that you might find it might not be as supportive, but again it depends on how big your baby gets and how you're feeling support. So you adjust the panel by rolling the waist belt, and you can spread the shoulders as well, and you can carry facing out. So again, very lightweight carrier, not the most long lasting, but if you want, you can buy me a new clothes round if you have some spare money, thank you, go to the GoFundMe page. If you want something a bit more lightweight, then this is quite a nice one at the beginning. I quite like this for small babies. Okay, so now everything's gone on the floor. I think it's time for me to stop talking because the slings are sick of this. So really big important things to remember is just remember that it's not one size fits all, okay? That you or your friend might like different things, you and your partner might like different things, so that's quite important to remember. So very, very important to try before you buy, please, and go to a sling library with somebody who knows what they're doing, as opposed to going to a big baby shop. I won't name names, but they're only there to sell, okay? They're not like trying to help you, unfortunately. So something to just remember. Just remember that everybody feels support and comfort differently. That's why there are so many different types. Have a think in terms of money, how much money you want to spend. Do you want to have 1, 2, or 3 carriers that will take you to 3-year-olds, maybe a bit more, or do you want one that will just last you years and that you can use for the children? How bulky do you feel a carrier will work for you? Do you want to back carry when your baby's bigger? Do you want to face out? Do you want to have the option of having a hip carry? All of these things is very important to think about. I know it's really hard to know because it's very overwhelming. There's so many options, there's so many styles, and this is only a small sample I've shown you what I have in the library at the moment. But try a few. Really, you don't have to go for the first one you've tried, and you don't have to buy the big brands, although I really do love these guys. Sometimes it might not work for you. I have a question from Magda. Mel, could you please tell me the name of the carrier with the stretchy wrap, the colourful one in the shows? Yes, you try to find it. It's called the Zen Sling from Mama Ruga. Really great company. Really great people, and there it is. Okay. This one, I think is this one you wanted to see. So this one is the Zen, and it's very, very lightweight, and it's made from a stretch wrap. You can't face out. I mean, you can if you really want to. It's not really in a manufacturer recommendation. So Magda, I'll do a demo for you so you can get an idea. So you put it on your waist, clip on your back, a little bit tight. Adjust the base so it fits your baby knee to knee. And I'm going to clip around my baby to show you how it works. So I'm going to loosen my straps a little bit, like that. Bring baby on my front, and I'm going to sit my baby quite deep down into the panel. Bring the panel across. This is the hood here. I'll show you how it works. And then you're going to grab a strap. You're going to flip it over your shoulder. When you do that with any carrier, make sure nobody's behind you. This really hurts, okay? It will leave a mark on your face, okay? So be careful. Hold baby, and then you're going to pull this strap down. Bring it across your back like that, okay? Don't go straight to your neck because that's going to be very uncomfortable. Bring it across, and then you're going to clip. Again, keep away from your breast tissue. If you're a breastfeeding mother or a new mother, you find it's a bit uncomfortable having things digging. And I'm going to do the same here. Flip over, pull down, and then bring across and clip. Okay, you have what we call dual adjust. So you can either, so I'm going to show you, loosen here, and then you can pull forward, or you can pull everything back. For some people, pulling back is very stressful, so just loosen the front clip and then retighten. Okay, you can spread the fabric on your shoulders like this, and then the front panel is completely adjustable. So as your baby grows, you make it taller and taller. So again, micro adjustments to fit your baby's body completely. Hood if you need it, but always make sure you don't cover the face, okay? Use half, and then you've got little elastic bands like this. You can do that. It can give you extra support, okay? But just make sure you never cover the face. It's very, very important. You can front carry, you can hip carry, and you can back carry with it. It's all possible, and it's really supportive and lovely. Quite easy to breastfeed in or bottle feed, because with the dual adjust you can just go like this and bring baby to the breast, or you can feed like that, or you can do a full hip carry and do your breastfeeding. Again, it's really worth talking to your sling librarian and have a one-on-one to see what works for you. So that's the Zen sling from Mama Ruga, and it's really lovely. And if you don't like clipping around, you can clip everything and just slide your baby in. Lots of different ways to put carriers on. It's not one way, okay? So if you find you have a carrier and you have a chest strap and you say, but I need somebody to clip it, no, you don't have to ever clip it. Just pre-clip, put it on, slide your baby in, tighten, and you're good to go. So don't worry, there's always different ways to do things. You can buy carriers second-hand, mostly. I mean, you don't have to buy something new. There's lots of baby wearing for sale or trade groups where you can just buy second-hand. I would say if you buy second-hand, especially from eBay and even new, be careful of fakes. There are lots of fakes. I see them all the time. I'm going to do a video later on about ergo fakes, so that'll be on my channel. You can have a look what I mean about fakes. If you're going to buy anything, like especially ergos, they're faked a lot. Make sure you buy from a approved retailer or straight from ergo, I will say, then you know that you're not buying anything that's been counterfeit. Anything from Amazon and eBay, really, really be careful. If you're not sure, you can just bring me the carrier or show it to me and I can tell usually if it's fake or not. Or you can email them directly. Majority are fine, but if you buy second hand, just make sure you have a really good inspection, check all the buckles, check everything before you put your baby in. Again, if you're not sure, go to your nearest sling library, will be really happy to help you. If you want to buy something, I can get you discount, so please get in touch. And also, a lot of sling library and consultants do retail to help us survive financially because it's very hard. So please, we are approved retailer for a lot of brands. So get in touch and we'll be very, very happy to guide you with the buying process. And then, yes, if you want to start back carrying with your carrier as well, come and see us so we can show you how to do it safely. think I've covered pretty much everything. Please feel free to post question in the comments or message me directly. Very happy to help. So let me check if I have any questions here. Any more questions? See. Okay. No, I think we're good. I think I'm going to switch off now. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions at any point, please get in touch. Always happy to help you, and stay well. Bye.